we do an intro? What do you think?
How did we do it last year? And was it
I
good or
don't
bad?
remember. I think we just kind of ad hoc it. But welcome to the 2023 games we played this year. Top 5 from each of us.
That's correct.
We're doing what we did last year, where we each give 5 games we played this year. It doesn't have to come out this year. And we'll just go in order from PCM, Wano, me. We'll just kind of go through ours, starting from 5 to 4 to 3, 2, and then honorable mentions. No, we're not guessing this time. So we'll do the same thing. We'll cast our music, and I'll just edit it all, so it doesn't matter.
Are we
Get
just
their
doing
monies.
one game at a time?
One game at a
or-
time. And I guess if same rule is if we share a game, go ahead and come in and say, hey, I also have that on my list. Anyway,
Yep.
choose a song, PCM, and cast it.
All right.
This was in my top 5 last year.
Yeah.
Yay!
I didn't play it. I was too busy playing the original.
That's fair.
We finally finished that, so I can try this, and it's beautiful.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is amazing what they took from that old PS1 game and just cranked up the budget.
Yes.
All the modern design conveniences and whatever silliness. I still haven't gotten very far into it. So for now it sits at number 5 just because I haven't played a lot, and also I did encounter some glitches.
Uh-oh.
I think it's PC port or like my PC specifically, but I don't know.
It's a shame.
I was seeing other people online talking about
If you
PC
were
port
to,
being kind of glitchy.
where do you think you are in the game? Like where?
Oh,
what's
like
the
super
last
early,
thing?
like chapter 3.
Okay. All right.
Like I did like the opening thing and then
So
the
you still
next
got a
chapter, so,
bit in there.
there's a lot more for me to unpack with this, but it's good. It's all there. I like that they kind of they don't hit you with like the Final Fantasy 70-ness all at once. They kind of build. Like there is the stuff during like chapter 2 where the battle music was like not quite the battle theme, and then you go a ways into the chapter, and then once the fights start getting more intense, then the music finally like builds up to the actual battle theme from the
Interesting.
original game.
Yeah.
Little details like that. And Barrett.
Barrett's great.
Barrett.
I love him.
Barrett's so good. Also Aerith. I love Aerith.
She's
so-
cute.
She's great. She gives Cloud a flower.
It's adorable.
It's
And they did a
wonderful.
lot with the game, and it's only just Midgar, just the beginning, like couple chapters in the original.
Mhm.
So it's like, if they could just do that for that little section of the game, imagine what the next part's gonna be like.
Yeah, the next part's gonna be like a whole like multi-disc whatever
Yeah.
saga, and that's not even the rest of the game. So, we're gonna have a lot of Final Fantasy VII to play in our future.
Oh, yeah, it's true. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. Good game. Good choice.
Good choice.
Speaking of choice, Guano, your turn.
Okay.
I forgot we did this year.
We did this year. Yeah,
Nice.
I definitely went over like our record of Let's Plays we've done. Like, what do we do this year? Yeah, I enjoyed Celeste.
Nice.
It was one of those games I wasn't sure if I would enjoy it much because I'm not sure I'm into, the hardcore platformer style, little 2D. Just don't touch those spikes. Don't hit a fraction of those spikes.
Yeah.
And yeah, to be sure, I only played the A sides, the easiest part
Yeah,
of it.
that's true.
But I had a great time with it. The controls felt good. The story was a lot of fun. The character interactions and such. The music.
Yeah.
The music's really good.
Really, really good.
Yeah, I don't know if I've... Like, I need to take some time to actually listen to those OST proper, I think.
I added them all, so they're in there.
Good.
The only issue is they're long, because
Yeah.
like they're meant to like build on each other, and as you go through the level, so it's like one soundtrack is now it's like 9 minutes, 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
So that's the only issue, especially with our
Are, like, going for shorter
our
songs
rules.
thing. Yeah.
But yeah, really good stuff. I like the music.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know if I have a lot to say. It was good.
It's good. Just a simple, good platformer.
Good vibes
I like
all
It
it.
around.
executes well on its premise, baby.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah,
I
you made
liked
me
it.
play it.
Now you gotta play side B.
Oh no!
B.
Speaking of B, it's my turn.
It's your turn, Mr. B.
Take that for what it's worth. My 5th favorite game this year that I played is Dang Old Grandpa.
Dangled Grandpa.
Dan gonna run, pa.
Dang Old Grandpa. Yeah, I actually wrote notes. Let me read through them.
You wrote notes. Oh, he's
Oh,
professional.
Just like little things. Yeah, I really like this game. It reminded me of the good old days of 999.
Yes.
It's I don't know, it's like a visual novel, but then you know, it's all about murder and you just got to solve these mysteries, and I always like that. I like mystery novels. I like how sadistic it is. It's just like these are high school kids and they get murdered and all their blood is pink and they never explain it.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, I guess you can drive these kids to murder each other. They just need a motive. I love Monokuma.
Yeah.
He's such a good character. He's always there. He's always watching, always pushing the envelope. Yeah, I really like that part. All the characters, I like how they're all distinct. Some I like more than others, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
But I think they all have their own place in the story, and it fits well. I like the mysteries because it's like I don't know who did it when first murder happens, but I'm like, it's probably you because you're the least likely to do it. But then they throw like a twist in the trials, and you're like, oh, okay, okay, this changes my perspective. And then just trying to figure it out was really fun. I think the trials are the best part, honestly.
Yeah.
You can kind of watch and follow along, and it doesn't, it's fun.
It's the part that's like actually voice acted and all that.
Yeah, that's what I love. And then the whole story, you're just kind of like, why are we here? Why are all the windows boarded up? And is everything, the bear's telling us true? I don't know. He can be manipulating us. And, how they kind of lead that out, especially with the reveal of the mastermind is really great. I love the mastermind.
Yeah.
There were some issues. It could be a little tedious, especially when investigating. You're like, all right, I kind of know what's happening. Just got to click everything and talk to everybody in order to continue. So that's a little bad, but and then there's no real branching paths like in 999. You can't go on this tangent and then use that to continue the story. There's like only one get a bad ending, but
I was curious if you got that or not.
I did. It was just like, yeah, you should do this because it's funny. I was like, oh, okay.
Good.
And then it doesn't matter because then he's like, oh, I was just imagining it. Back to the trial. I guess that's also into the issues. Like game overs don't really matter because you just restart to where you failed.
For better or worse.
Yeah, but otherwise, yeah, really liked it. Really fun game. Really good music, and yeah, enjoyed.
Nice.
I got to get through Danganronpa 2 and 3 so I can listen to your podcast.
Yay!
There's your plug-in for Trading Faves.
Trading Faves.
Woo!
Oh, don't worry, I'll be shilling that thing.
Oh boy, I can only imagine. All right, PCM, show us your number 4. I'm not gonna look at the screen.
So I know the song is from the original, but it's the Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe.
Woo! Okay. Nice.
It's Kirby's Return to Dreamland is just one of the best entries in the entire series.
Mm-hmm.
And on the one hand, it's like one of the first like more modern, you could say, Kirby games. It was on the Wii.
Mm-hmm.
So I really didn't think they were gonna remake it. But then they did, and I was like, oh, well, it's just gonna be like a port, and then it's like remade from the ground up. The visuals are extremely pretty, and it's just got everything you could want out of a Kirby game. It's more of that like Superstar kind of style where all the copy abilities have like a ton of like like a fighting game level of like a move list of like things you can do with all your attacks. But then this was also the Kirby game that introduced like 4-player simultaneous co-op, which is a good thing. I feel like all the Kirby games should have that. It's got a lot of personality, and the best thing about the Deluxe is the secondary mode. We haven't gotten to that in our playthrough of the game, but after you beat the main game, they have the what they call the Magolor epilogue.
Yeah.
Where you play as Magolor. That mode is extremely good. That is like peak Kirby. There's some really good stuff. Some absolutely like jaw hitting the floor boss fights.
Interesting.
And then it gets even crazier because you get a like a true arena after that adds like all of the normal bosses and then all of the Magolor epilogue bosses for just the most insane boss rush, and then like a unique final boss if you somehow survive that long. Kirby does love its like brutal secret post-game content, and I'm here for it. And then also just like the mini games that they added, they picked a lot of good ones from across the entire series. A little like Ninja Duel game, the checkerboard chase from Kirby 64.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And like they just picked a ton of stuff from across the entire series, and we're like, yeah, we're just gonna stuff all this in here. Bunch of extra content on top of this already super good game. So,
That's awesome.
as a Kirby fan, I was quite happy about my annual Kirby release being not just good like Kirby usually is, but like better than good.
Yeah. Well, what little we played of it, I liked it.
Yeah, it's just a shame, like, our schedule. Like,
Yeah.
we've only played so much of it.
So much. We'll have to get back to it. But yeah, I really liked it so far.
Yeah.
Excited to see more of it. Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Good job.
Number 4, Guano.
Guano!
Number 4
Hurry
already.
Not looking, not looking.
So, this is Humanity.
Oh.
Yeah, this is a really fun game. It's a puzzle game. You guide all these little human peoples to the goal. You are also a Shiba Inu. You're just a little puppy.
Aw.
Yeah, it's like the presentation is really neat. Yeah, the music is quite serene, quite neat.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward puzzle game. Like, again, it's like you set down like turn commands, like humans are just kind of walking forward in just a huge stream. It's like, okay, turn left here, maybe jump up here, okay? And like try to get all the extras as you can. Yeah, the presentation is nice. The story is interesting, and like the developments along the way are fun. Like the way they kind of spruce up the puzzles, because it's like, you know, I played like the first third of this game or so, and it's like, okay, well, what are the trophies? Oh, they get guns.
What? Huh.
Yeah, it's really quirky. It's just a cool game. Just polished. It's not a lot to say. Like, it does what it does really well.
It's like the Clank levels from Ratchet Rift Apart, right?
That's definitely true. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Or Lemmings or something like that.
It's pretty Lemmings. It's pretty Clank puzzles. It's pretty Humanity.
I remember seeing it in the PlayStation Direct thingy, and that was like one of the top games on there. I was like, that actually looks interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember how I kind of came across that. I was like, I should play that game, actually.
Yeah.
And I had a good time of it.
I have not even heard of this game until right now, so I am interested to look into this one.
Yeah. Sounds good. I want to try it.
Yeah, I had a good time. It's in my, I'd say it's top 4 of the
Top
games
4?
I played or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like it.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know. I struggle to find a lot to say about the things I've chosen.
It's all right.
But I
It's
like
all
it.
right.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Number 3. That's me. Don't look.
You're number
You're
4.
gonna get number 4.
Uh-huh.
That's my number 4. Yeah. Gravity Rush 2. So Gravity Rush, the first one was on my 2022
Yeah.
list, and immediately after, I played Gravity Rush 2, and there's just a lot of things they improved and expanded on.
Yeah.
Because on the original it was a Vita game, and now the second one was a PS4 game.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
I don't remember how.
They expanded a lot, so the gameplay is a lot smoother. They redefined the controls a bit, and falling everywhere is really fun, especially with the new environments they have, because they're not limited to the Vita hardware. They're just like, there's going to be a town below the fog, and then up is the normal town, and then you have a higher rich people town, and you can just fall from either way, and it's just like, this is taking a while, but you can do it. I just love that aspect of it. They added multiple mechanics to it, so they have like different gravity modes, like there's like Lunar and Jupiter. So Jupiter, you become really heavy, but you like can start dashing at things, and you can like destroy huge columns of rock and stuff. And it's like more focused on combat, while Lunar is like you kind of just skip around things, and it's very floaty. And so I just thought that's neat. They improved on the whole gravity part of it. And then let's see, fun set pieces. There's a lot more. You're like in a new city for the first part, and then they bring back some old stuff, and you get to explore more of that weird tree that like changes time as you move up and down it. So it's pretty cool. I love that part of it. And then finally, the side missions, they are improved. It's not just like, oh, do this, collect these things, or go through the hoops. They have more storyness to it. Like one of them is like this guy and his son own a shop, and they're out throughout you see them in the first game. And then one of the side missions, like, my grandpa just keeps drinking. Can you stop him? And so you just kind of have to watch him and kind of block him from getting his drinks, and he just gets more mad, and I don't know, it's just a lot more fun, different, exotic side missions. So, pretty cool. Only downside I would say is the story feels rushed. I feel like they wanted to do a third game, but they probably couldn't, so they just like, all right, here's what we were planning, and then they kind of fit it all in the last chapters of the game. So.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the only downside to it, but otherwise, yeah, really, really fun. So, when you get to Iguano, let's play that game.
Okay.
Or I make you play it. We'll see.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. All right, Mr. PCM.
Okay.
Number 3 for real this time.
Number 3.
So guess what? You're not the only one who played a Danganronpa this year.
Oh my god!
Well, what can I say? Everything that Snowfy had to say about the first game,
Yeah?
it's like that, but so much bigger.
Ooh.
It's the thing about like all the Danganronpa games is that they very much go for like, oh well, that's what we did last time. We got to go bigger this time. And this is like after a couple of games in the series, so they're like, we got to go really big with this one.
Yeah.
So like the characters and their personalities are very like exaggerated and fantastical in a lot of fun ways. And for me personally, the other Danganronpa games, I kind of liked their sense of style, but they didn't grab me the way like Zero Escape did.
Mm-hmm.
V3 definitely does. This is like one of the best games I've played in a long time. I very much fell in love with the cast, like how you were saying with the first game. Like there's some characters you like more than others.
Mm-hmm.
I probably still could rank all the characters, but I really like them all. I was going in expecting to like have a handful of characters that I was like, oh, like these are my favorites, these ones suck, like I hope my favorites don't die or whatever.
Right.
By about chapter 2, I was like, I don't want any of these precious kids to die. Like, I would feel so sad.
Aww.
And like, this game has some exciting and like standout plot twists, in my opinion. Like, this game has some great writing. I think a lot of it just has to do with how like character focused it is. It's like very focused on like who the characters are. You like have your free time events to get to know them all and like figure out like what makes them who they are. And there's a lot of like good mysteries that are like the hints are telegraphed as to like what the big plot twists are going to be, but it's like you got to be like paying attention. There's some stuff that I didn't even realize, like I was just going through the story and then a plot twist happened. I was like, whoa, that's insane. And then I went back and rewatched like the beginning of the game and I was like, they are just blatantly saying this to the player. But like they're so careful with like their writing and their double speak that it's like it makes it worthwhile to go back and see the game a second time to see all of the foreshadowing that like you wouldn't have picked up on the first time.
Interesting.
And yeah, just like lots of sadistic style and flair that Danganronpa is known for.
Yay!
This game is very cruel. They will take some of your most favorite characters and just make you watch them suffer.
Oh no!
It is it's a good time.
It is.
Oh. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
I'm excited for you to get to this one eventually.
All right. I can listen to your podcast.
And it also is very definitive as like an ending for the series too.
Oh, interesting.
They find a very creative way to wrap a bow on the entire series.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
It is. I'm told it's very debated whether or not people like this one in the community. It's either like you really love it or you are like, that's a stupid ending.
Oh.
But I don't know.
Huh.
Everyone that I've seen who has good taste in games likes this one, so...
Can I ask, is there a snail involved?
Snail? No, that's Zero Escape.
All right, then I might like it.
I see how it is.
I'm just saying. Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, it sticks to the landing a little bit better than Zero Escape did.
Yeah, that's
good to
that's
hear.
True. Absolutely.
All right. Guano, number 3.
Why don't you like snails?
Is the next game snail-based?
No, but you've made me very sad.
Yay!
This is Guano's lament. I tried to share my favorite games with my friends.
This little thing I like, and you reject it.
No, that's totally fine. Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess.
Yay!
Yeah, I feel like I need to go back and like either play through it again or just watch our series because you know I had it. I played through this game very staggered, you know, just a couple hours at a time, as we do. But I remember thinking quite fondly of this.
Yes.
I wasn't like before I played it, looking at Twilight Princess. I'm like, how good is this game though? Especially with the whole like Wind Waker's too cartoony. Twilight Princess is where it's at.
Yeah.
And that backlash leads to me having a backlash against that. Like, it's too serious. It's too
Gotta go
dark.
against
What
the
do you-
grain.
But yeah, this is a great game. It's got the wonderful dungeon designs, certainly.
Thank you.
Yeah, they are. They feel more realized instead of this is the level we came up with. You know, it's like no, this is the location. This is kind of what it means to these people,
Nice.
and like we
Yeah.
put puzzles through it and stuff. Yeah, especially the snow dungeon. Ice
Oh,
dungeon.
yes.
That one's
Best
a real
one.
standout. It's really unique.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you had to play as a wolf too. I think that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
That's important.
I see why now you like this one.
I just saying.
I guess yeah, worth mentioning. We played the HD version because
Yeah.
even then, like sometimes, like oh, I have to talk to Midnight. I have to turn into a wolf. Oh, I can't fast travel when I'm like in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
There are some like weird restrictions, but it was a good time. It was solid.
Yeah, and the HD also has a lot of quality of life things that you didn't get to
Yeah.
experience in the original.
The headaches
Yeah.
of the original.
Yeah,
So I'm glad you played that version.
yeah. Just throwing another song in there. I don't have a lot more to say, but yeah.
How would you compare to like other Zelda games?
So yeah, I was thinking about that. I think I did like it more than Wind Waker.
Ah,
Wind Waker has the like unfortunate position of me having played a lot of it before we could like
That's
really play through it together.
Yeah.
And I got stuck and stumped on that game in weird ways.
I mean, you did for this one too at the very beginning.
I did,
That
yeah.
cat mini game.
With the fishing.
With the fishing.
Oof. I didn't play enough of it for that to be
I'm
like.
glad we spent like 3 hours fishing in this game.
Well, we sure did.
We sure did.
Yeah, I'm unsure how I feel about it with like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I'm still not sure how I rank those. But I did quite like Twilight Princess. It's up there. For
I'm
sure.
glad. I'm glad.
It's one of those ones, not to make this about my opinion about the game, because this isn't my pick, but I feel like it's kind of polarizing, because I feel like the lows of the game are pretty low and makes it like not one of my most favorite Zelda games. But then like the high points are like really high. Things like I like the whole like Twilight Palace dungeon with like the Zant boss fight and everything.
Ooh, yes, definitely.
Lots of stuff like Midna being a really good, compelling character.
I mean, it's fun.
Yeah, Midna, best companion.
Yeah, she's arguably the main character of the game.
Pretty much.
All the plot is focused on her, but it's like I have to remind myself that I like this one, but I really do like it when I look back.
Yeah, like I said in our Let's Play, this is my most looking forward Zelda game.
Yeah.
I was like so excited for this ever since the trailer came out.
Oh, totally.
So, yeah, it's got a special place in my heart. So
Hell
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
Yay!
Stoffy?
Yeah, my number 3.
Ooh.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
So my third pick is Hi-Fi Rush.
Nice.
This game is so charming and funny and just really a good time. It's got that really good music and like killer soundtrack that just goes along with it because it's a action fighting game, but you got to time your attacks to the beat of the music, right? Normally I'm not very good at those, but for this game it works really well because the whole game's designed around keeping the beat. And like the entire world, if you just look around, like things are dancing to the beat. Just like little things. The enemies are to the beat. And it's just a really neat concept that you get to see fully realized. Like a good moment is it's like chapter 10 or whatever. You get shot from a cannon into like the headquarters, and then all of a sudden you get Invaders Must Die start playing, and it's just like, yeah, this is a really high point. You just start killing all the robots inside, and they have a funny little skit before you get in there, and this game is pretty funny, actually. They got really great cutscenes. All the characters work great off each other. Yeah, it's really good, and it just came out of nowhere. It's just like, here's a little, shadow drop. Here you go. Have fun. No one knew this was coming, and I think it's great. It's like AA games aren't dead. This is like a perfect example. I would love to see more of it.
Yeah. Did you think this was going to be on my top 5, by the way?
No, is it?
No. It's not, but like,
Honorable mention?
it should be probably.
Yay.
Because while going through all the things I've played, I forgot I played this one. It's hard to keep track of that stuff.
It came out
on
in
Xbox.
January, so it's like some people forgot. Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't finish it. I didn't play too much of it, I guess, maybe halfway through. But yeah, I enjoyed this game a lot too.
Yeah.
It's good vibes.
Very, very good vibes.
It's one of those games that I am purposely avoiding because I know I'll love it when I play it.
Yeah, it's very good. The combat's really good. They constantly add new features as you get through, and it's like there's never a dull moment. Something's always new, even up till like the final level. So really cool that they did that.
Yeah.
Only down point what I would say is the story could be better. It feels like they didn't land it, but like otherwise it's fine. You're gonna have fun no matter what. I'm not expecting much from it, but it's good time. Good vibes.
Good vibes.
So, yeah, that's my number 3.
Hooray!
All right, PCM. Give us your number 2.
My number 2. This is the poop one because it's number 2.
Oh.
That's funny and true.
Anyway.
Oh wow.
Hello
No ad.
there.
Hello there.
It's Pizza Tower!
Pizza Tower.
Oh, man. Pizza Tower was just this pleasant surprise of a game.
Mm-hmm.
I love how unapologetically absurd this game is. Just like so many games are trying to be like really empowering and give you this really cool protagonist. In Pizza Tower, you're just playing as this like anxious old dude that runs a pizza shop, like, and he's just like so paranoid. Like Peppino is just afraid of everything. And so it's got this really like frantic energy to it. Like a lot of people basically describe it as the combination of like the Wario Land games with Sonic the Hedgehog. So it's just like you're doing like crazy Wario stuff, but at high speeds. The soundtrack is like maybe like the most like driving thing about it. Like the music is all just like super weird and wacky and abstract, but it's always like super high tempo and keeps you wanting to do more.
We're dancing to it right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm bopping.
We're
my
all
head
bopping.
here.
We're all bopping to the beat. And like, cause we all watched a bit of it because we were watching Vinny's stream and doing like the ending to the game, and like just that little bit of gameplay that I'd seen there like sold me instantly. I was like, I need this game. And I don't know, there's a lot of like, you know, there's like ranks at the end of levels and you can like really master this game if you want to. I don't know if that's for me. I just kind of had fun like going through it and just seeing all the wackiness, but like if you want, there's like a lot of challenge and you can really get your hands in there with the game. I think maybe like the biggest high point for me is just the boss fights, because they have so much personality and they're so stupid. Especially like for a game that has this like art style that kind of looks like it was drawn in like MS Paint. It's like very rough and pixely. Like the final boss fight is just such a spectacle. It is amazing like how like pushed to his limit Peppino is and how much he like snaps. As well as there's a lot of stuff that like normally I don't vibe with in games, like especially jump scares. There's quite a few of those in this game, surprisingly. But it's that good kind of tension that makes you like, no, I gotta beat this, I gotta go fast, like as well as like the fear of like time limits and everything. It's just a very silly, stylish game.
Nice. Yeah, I love the style of this game. I love the art is all, yeah, like you said, low pixel MS Paint, but like I think it adds to it, the wackiness of it, and the music and the variety of levels, and like you said, one has jump scares, one you get a shotgun.
Yeah,
that's the ones I've seen. But like, yeah, I really want to play this game, so I'm glad you put it on.
Yeah, and there's basically like a new power up or a new gimmick in every level. You're always experiencing something new each time you go into a level.
Yeah, it's like a love project because I think it took like 6 years or so to finish making. I remember seeing demos like way long ago.
Yeah, I remember just stumbling upon it on Twitter. Just like somebody's like, "Hey, this is the indie game I'm working on." I'm like, this looks insanely good.
Right? So,
and it just like kept getting better until the final release.
Nice. Yeah, good choice. I need to play it.
Very good.
At least we didn't snuff it at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Yay.
Take
Dave
that,
the
Jeff
Diver.
Kiwi. Cool. All right, Guano. Number 2.
Number two.
Number 2.
You could just look at it, yeah.
That's true.
This is Ori and the Blind Forest.
Whoa.
This is I'm just double checking. Possibly the oldest game in my top 5. Like
Oh.
I've finally gotten around to this, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh,
That's it.
is that it? You care to elaborate?
Care to tell us about it?
No, yeah, it looks very good. It's a Metroidvania, and I guess maybe I need to play more Metroidvanias in general. But it's like all the new abilities you get are used in like really cool and creative ways. Like, you know, you see obstacles ahead of you, and like, how am I going to get past this in the future? And then like when you do get the ability to do that, it's like, oh, I didn't think it'd be like this.
Right.
Yeah, the movesets you're getting are always very neat, and Ori does this really well. Cause like, no, actually, I can't elaborate on that. It's
Oh.
good though, and it's very cute. And like, what little story it has is very, very nice and very sad. It's like, oh,
Mhm.
ah, jeez, oh,
I've seen the intro.
the Ori.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the intro. And it's very cute.
Yeah, I love the art style.
Absolutely.
It's very, very pretty. Have you played the second? Are you gonna play the
I
second
have
one?
not played the second. Despite me playing this like really early in the year, I haven't gotten around to the second one yet.
Mm,
But
gotcha.
I want to. Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it is cool, isn't it?
Make me play it.
I think I meant to make you play it sometime this year, but
Ah.
maybe sometime next
I
year.
will. I want. I tried it. I need to go back to it though. I've only
Yeah,
played like the first 5 minutes, but
certainly. Yeah.
nice.
I've definitely been meaning to either try it or watch a playthrough of it. So
yeah.
if you guys do that, that's a way for me to experience
There we
it.
go. That's how we do it.
that.
I like it. Good choice.
Thank you.
All right. Number 2 is The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Is
Well,
this your number 1?
This is my number 1. So.
Sorry, I stole it.
Well, but I'm like right after you in line, so we can just talk about it here.
Yeah. So, yeah, this was a very highly anticipated game.
It was.
It's like, how do you go from Breath of the Wild? You know, how do you expand on that? And I think they did a phenomenal job doing that. Just the, you know, the creativity they added, like what you could do in Breath of the Wild is pretty cool, and like all the weird things you can do with the physics. But with this and your Ultra Hand and how you can build contraptions and just use materials to create weird abominations or creations, and I love that, especially, it reminds me of freaking Nuts and Bolts. But this, has a lot more freedom. Also, the dungeons, I feel they
Yes.
vastly improved on that
So much better.
compared to the Breath of the Wild. It feels like even leading up to the dungeon is in itself like part of it. So it's just like, oh, you got to work your way towards it, and it's not just, oh, how do we get inside a beast or whatever. It's like each one's unique. At one point you're like you're going really, really high, jumping on these floating boats to get inside a giant twister, or another time when you're climbing up this waterfall and like gravity changes and you're like really light for a big part of it.
Nice.
I love the new enemies and bosses they added.
Oh, yes.
They like took a look at their history and it's like, what can we add, especially like the Gleelock, I think they're called.
Oh, yeah, the Gleeoks.
Yeah, I love fighting them. And they're just like the varieties, they're like different elemental types, and there's so many other enemies that you get to fight that I think helps improve the variety and makes exploring a little more exciting.
Cool.
The story, I love the
Yeah.
story. the it's hard to do a story when you're free to do whatever you want in any order, but I feel like this one, especially with the ties with Zelda and what happens with her, is like, oh, this is much more meaningful. I feel like the stakes are higher and like everyone's contributing to the story in a more meaningful way than just activating a beast at the end. So I love that bit, and like I love seeing the history of Hyrule and like, oh, that's like what happened in Ocarina of Time. They're kind of referencing that.
Yeah.
We actually get to see what happens.
Mhm.
So, yeah, just definitely one of really good on the story bit. No spoilers, obviously.
Right.
But the only downside I would say is I would have preferred a new world compared to reusing the same map
Right, yeah.
from Breath of the Wild. With that said, they still like this. They changed so much. It's exciting to see like, oh, this is what happened to this town, or what happened to this area. And then they got this whole clouds above you area, and then there's the below area that you get to visit. So it's like 3 times more expansive compared to Breath of the Wild. I would still would like a new one, but still, I think it's pretty good.
Good. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm still meaning to get around.
Yeah, come on, man. PCO, you want to elaborate?
Love to.
Could elaborate on his number 1.
What's your number 1, PCM?
It's
Quick,
Hey.
change it. I'm not looking.
Hold on.
I can't look.
quick. I can't say what it is, so I can plug the Trade and Faves podcast. I mean, there's obviously there's not too much more to add because all of the things you're saying, it's very improved upon Breath of the Wild. For the past little bit, actually, is it a little bit? For the past couple of years, my favorite Zelda game has just been whatever the most current release is. I think that started ever since Skyward Sword came out. I was like, that's my favorite. And then a Link Between Worlds came out. I'm like, no, that's my favorite. And then Breath of the Wild came out. I'm like, no, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
But I wasn't convinced that this was going to be better than Breath of the Wild at first. Probably until I got to the dungeons, and then I was like, oh, okay, this is much better. Everything they're doing is like really expanding upon it, and I definitely didn't do much in terms of like creating stuff at the beginning of the game, but like as I spent more time in the world, I finally just started to figure out like, oh, this is how stuff works. This is how I can connect things, and now we can build like basically like airships that can destroy like entire legions of enemies and whatever. Definitely, like you said, like everything about like the combat has been improved because there was kind of just a sort of a lack of variety in enemy types in Breath of the Wild. Whereas here they just throw you in all kinds of wacky situations. And I love, since you can like fuse things to your weapons and you can like fuse stuff to your arrows. There's so much more of just like having stuff in your pouch and being like, okay, what works here? Like, these guys are weak to ice, so I'll put a cold fruit on an arrow and then shoot it, and then it like freezes them and they die or whatever. Like, you have to think about like what's in your bag a bit more. Like Breath of the Wild, you were like picking up a ton of resources. Most of it was just for food. Whereas in this one, like everything's got some kind of a use. Like eyeballs have a homing effect, or like gems will like explode an element, or something like that. There's even like kind of Mario Sunshiny segments where there's like goo and you get like water element to like clean up the goo, all that kind of stuff. And like maybe like lastly and most importantly, like the story just really got me on this one, and I think it's because it was a sequel to Breath of the Wild. Because like I loved Breath of the Wild a bunch, but I remember thinking like, oh, like Zelda's kind of annoying in this one. Like she's mean to Link or whatever, and then like by the end it's like, okay, yeah, there's your classic Link and Zelda dynamic. But I think because she was such a brat in the first game, seeing her now like a lot more like mature in this game, kind of makes me feel for her a bit more, because it's like, oh, you've grown so much.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I kind of go back and forth on whether I'm like sentimental about games and stuff, but like I cried when I saw the ending to this game. It was just. It was really sweet, and it was the perfect like bookend to a really exciting adventure.
We actually saw the ending together.
Yeah, we did.
Great.
I mean, not
here
for
when
the first
you beat
time
it.
together.
Right,
But
but for me, yeah.
Right.
for you, yeah. True.
Cool.
It's such a good game.
It is such a good
Good.
game. You gotta play it, Guado.
Agaba.
Since we skipped your honorable mentions, why don't you tell us now?
Oh, okay. I just kind of haphazardly copied a list of like everything I played this year, but definitely
Nice.
not everything is an honorable mention on this list. So, let's see. Honorable mentions go to the Sonic Frontiers DLC that came out this year. They added a lot of cool stuff. Even very recently, people were complaining about the kind of the unfair difficulty spike of
Yeah.
the most recent DLC pack. They patched it.
Yeah.
It's a lot more balanced and fair, and you can be good at the game.
Nice.
As well as just a new soundtrack, more of like what they were doing with the Amazing Frontier soundtrack.
Definitely.
There's that. I will go through the rest of these a bit quicker, but Mario Kart 8 DLC came out. It's amazing.
Right.
Love me some Mario Kart. I played Among Us. That was pretty
That's
good.
true.
This is my first year of playing Among Us. Let's see. I gotta shout out the Fury demake
Right.
because
That was really cool.
I am an absolute horror for Fury. I love that game so much, and I was like, well, it's gonna be like not as good because it's a retro thing, and it's like, no, it's
amazing.
just as good.
Nice.
I hope they make a full game out of that. And then I guess lastly, I played the first two Professor Layton games.
Oh.
Yeah, they were. I'm not much of a puzzle guy, and they would kind of drag at a few points, but like the story is really good to both of those. So I'm excited to see where the series goes.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right, Guano. Honorable mentions.
All right, honorable mentions. These two I have played, but I've mostly kind of lived through them online, like social media. So I want to say, hey, Lethal Company is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
The other game I've played through mostly online, just like people posting about it,
Uh-huh.
is Rain World. Little slug cat
Right.
stuff.
Yeah, we did play that though.
Yeah, we played some of that. I played a little bit on my own as well. It is fun. I do like the gameplay of the atmosphere and all that.
Yeah.
But it's just a lot of fun seeing like all the like fan art and stuff. They're very cute.
They're cute.
Right.
Cat slugs.
Mm-hmm.
Neat.
Slug cat.
I love it.
The slug cat.
And then the other three that I can't put on my list for legal reasons.
Oh.
I played a lot of Horizon 1 and 2 again, and
Yeah.
also Days Gone again.
Okay.
I'd have more games to add on here if I didn't spend a whole lot of my time just going
replaying
completionist on those
those.
three games.
Yeah. Fair enough.
A year later, and you're still playing them.
Still playing them.
Yeah,
They're
so-
that good.
A game of the years.
Mm,
But no, those are good.
cool.
That's my shout out.
Nice. So my honorable mentions
Yes.
go to Bomberman 64: The Second Attack.
Yay!
I think it was a cute game, and the story definitely is a lot more than what the original 64 game was.
Yeah.
I love the elemental bombs and Pommy. It's a bit difficult and unfair, but
Yeah.
good time.
It is.
Shovel Knight, Plague of Shadows.
Yeah.
I love being the little scamp that throws his potions and all the combinations you can do, and you change your potions to fit your needs, and I found that really fun.
Nice. Yeah.
Infamous 2. It was neat just seeing Cole back and being an evil boy like I am in my heart. I like the setting. Everything's all southern and in Detroit or whatever. No,
New Orleans.
New Orleans. New Orleans.
New Marais, technically, but
Marais.
yeah.
But pretty fun game.
Nice. Good.
All right, PCM. What's your number one again?
My number one is Zelda.
Yay! Sorry, I mean Guano. What's your number one?
It might not matter if you don't look, cause it's
Yeah.
Ah,
It's Psychonauts Tube.
yeah, we did do that this year, didn't we?
we did do this. It was, yeah, I think again this like straddled between like 2022, 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is pretty good. This
Nice.
is really great. Like, yeah, they really took the formula of the first game. You like go into people's minds and kind of see like hey, what are you up to? Like, what tickles you and stuff?
Uh-huh.
This game like really takes that and it's like, hey, everyone's mind has like a different like art style basically.
Yeah.
Thoroughly different vibes going on in every world. It's great. It can be gross sometimes, but it's really great overall.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Psychonauts 1 was on your list last year, right?
Yeah. Again, I can't remember because we didn't do this before. No, we did do this before, right? Like
Yeah.
a top 5 game reviews.
Yeah.
Because I remember, I took Psychonauts 1 from like your game of the year list then.
And then you just reused it. Yeah.
And look, I'm taking Psychonauts 2.
Nice.
Yep.
Thank you. I'm glad it's
really
on
good.
here.
And I took Final Fantasy VII Remake
You guys, get your own games.
and Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you like that. Cause
Yeah, I didn't know this is good.
it's just like, a really good sequel to the original, and it came out like a decade later. So it's like, it's hard to do sometimes.
Yeah, it's cool to see the resurgence of like an IP kind of like this.
Yeah.
And also, hey, it's a 3D platformer. That's really cool.
Right.
Remember when those existed?
That's our Scrimblow right there.
I guess like I could say maybe I'm not as fond of more focus on combat. I guess.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
more into the
Yeah.
straight platform.
Sure.
Stuff. But I mean, yeah, the pros outweigh the cons.
Mhm.
So.
Would you say do you like this more than the original?
I'm not sure.
Me neither.
There are like vibes in this game that I wasn't as interested in. I guess like the new characters, the new kids that you're
Oh,
friends with.
yeah.
I'm like, these aren't.
They're not
these
as
aren't
weirdo
crazy.
as the original
They're
kids.
not the fun weirdos.
Yeah.
But I guess definitely like presentation-wise, just raw gameplay-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an improvement.
Good. Glad.
Yeah.
Glad I could introduce you to these games.
Thank you very much.
You snuffed Billy Hatcher though.
I did.
Oh,
Sorry.
didn't even make the honorable mentions.
I know.
Dishonorable mention. That last stage was bull.
It is.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But no, I did enjoy Billy Hatcher though. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad you like this one then.
Yeah.
We got our Scrimblow on here.
Scrimblow.
All right.
Take us home, Snowfy.
My number one, Metroid Prime Remastered.
Mm,
I never played a Metroid Prime game before, and they released that remastered, and I'm like, all right, might as well jump on the bandwagon. And I really enjoyed my time with it.
mhm.
My number one thing is the atmosphere in this game is amazing. You just really feel like you're in the world, and like you're playing as Samus, and you get to feel what she feels, see what she sees. And that's
By the
just
seashore?
what?
What does she see by the seashore?
Seashore, yes. It's a really good time. I love the world design, the different biomes you get to visit. I love the combat and the enemies. You can scan every single enemy and get a log entry about them.
Yeah.
It's so atmospheric, and then the music adds on to that. And just like, I could just sit here as it's snowing or raining and just enjoy the music and just be part of the world. Like, that's hard to do for me in games. I don't normally just sit there and get to enjoy it, but this one definitely, this one does it for me.
You want to know the only reason this wasn't... I didn't mention this or put it on my top 5?
Sure.
I bought it, but I haven't played it
Oh!
still. It's just sitting in its case.
Oh man.
Actually, the cartridge is sitting inside my Switch.
Hey, you're halfway there.
I definitely was thinking about buying this, which for me, that's a big
That is a
step.
big
That
deal.
is.
That's not a Sony game.
I have to get my Switch. I have to plug in all the cords. And
Oh
stuff.
golly,
No, yeah, this seems like a good time.
it
for
is.
sure.
Having played the original, it's like one of the coolest games I've ever played, and it's a faithful remake. So it's like I don't even need to play it. I know it's good.
Yeah, the remake is amazing. They updated a lot of things and made it very beautiful. You wouldn't even know this was a GameCube game. It's so good.
It's literally it's a GameCube game remake, and it's one of the best looking games on the Switch.
Oh yeah. It's just like, how did they do this? Wow.
Wizardry.
Wizardry. So yeah, really beautiful, really good. Love exploring the different places. I love the puzzles. They were very difficult because you gotta like think and you'd be like, look at the environment around you, just scan what you can scan and see if you can kind of piece it together. And I love that kind of puzzles. It was very Zelda-esque to me, but really, really good and really well executed.
Awesome.
Only downside is the backtracking. It's a Metroidvania. It happens.
A Metroid.
You're gonna be like going this path and be like, oh, I don't have this item. Better get back and try and find that item before I continue. But otherwise, it was beautiful, and I didn't mind backtracking because it was like, oh, I get to experience the environment again and see it from a different angle. So definitely my
cool.
favorite one.
Nice.
Radical.
I was like, what could top Tears of the Kingdom? And then you brought up this, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right.
So come on, Nintendo, Metroid Prime 2 remake, so I can play them all before Metroid Prime 4 never comes out.
Yeah,
I can be a true Metroid fan.
you can wait for a few years.
Yep. Yeah, that's our games we played.
Yay.
2023, baby.
Thanks for watching and or listening. It kind of doesn't matter.
Wait, before we wrap up, can I take this time to awkwardly chill at the end?
No.
You've done it last year, so might as well.
But here's the thing.
It's
not for trading faves.
It's
It's for the Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection.
Whoa!
Which, because of the Metroid Prime thing, I remember that's another game that I bought to support it, but I haven't opened it and started playing yet.
Oh. Is that your honorable mention you forgot to
But yeah,
mention?
that is an honorable mention that I forgot to mention. Mega Man Battle Network 3 still like remains like one of my favorite video games of all time, like top 10, maybe top 5. And you can play that in a very convenient collection with the rest of the games in the series.
Nice!
So everybody go out and buy those.
Good
Nice.
chill, good chill. Cool. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Go home and go play our games we just recommended.
Yeah. they're
Or
good.
else.
Or else.
Or else.